What's going on, all my cannabis-loving friends and family? Welcome to the 420 Resistance Live Show number 42, Jamaican Ganja farming in full effect. Thank you for tuning in and toking up. Don't be shy, like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell down below as well as the thumbs up. So thank you for joining me and my amazing panel once again for another week and another great show. As always, I'd like to start off tonight by giving a shout out to our sponsors, PALMSIDE Extracts, Grassroots Fabric Pots, North Genetics, and Photon Fantom Designs, who we have not heard from at all this week. Where are you at, fool? So much love to all of them for showing love and support to the 420 Resistance family and community. If at any point you enjoy the show, please just do us all up here a huge favor by hitting the thumbs up, subscribing to everyone on the panel if you haven't already, turning on your notifications, and most importantly, sharing this stream on your social media networks and with your friends. So let's go ahead and get into this week's show panel introductions. As always, I'm your host, Tricky D. And our first panelist tonight, as always, second in command, is Dirtman Dizzle. What's going on, Dirt?
And number two, right here. Hey, what's going on, guys? Dirtman Dan, chilling out. So the micro grow has finally recovered from torching the plants with the method 1 and not turning the lights down. But I got to make a decision, man. I got to figure out which one's which. My clones did not show male or female, so I just got to choose one. I think I'm just going to go with the better looking one and get it out of these cups because they're just screaming to get out of here. But as you can see, the one is a lot better looking than the other. So I think I'm just going to go with that one and hope that we got a female and run it.
Yeah, I've never been able to get a plant to go all the way to sex in a solo cup. They need at least like a 1 gallon, in my opinion.
Well, I was trying to run the clones from 12-12 just to get them to show something, and they're not showing, man. So either something's up with the lighting schedule or they're just taking their good old time. So I'm just going to go with the better looking plant and get it out of those cups.
Right on. All right, well, moving on over, we're going to move to Mr. Blackheart Gardens, one of our newest panel members. What's going on, Black?
What's up, everyone? I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I was cutting some video earlier today. I'm going to put together another update for the garden. I haven't done that in a while, so it's going to be nice to get a little update out there for everyone. So on my Instagram, I'm dealing with a little bit of fade in the garden. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. They're short on something, so we'll fix them up. I did break 1,500 followers, though, so that's pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Just working, doing the damn thing.
Nice. That's what we got to do. All right, well, thank you for joining us again. We're going to move on over to our other newest panel member, Hippie V420. What's going on, Hippie?
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's feeling irie tonight.
Yes, sir.
Not a lot going on my end. Flower rooms on week 5, and got a few new flavors in the veg that we're dealing with this time around. Got a handful of new clones. A lot of stuff I've never run before, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Nice.
I will stop slacking and post some pictures on IG. I haven't posted anything the last few weeks, but we'll get some pictures up there, give everybody a good idea of what's going on.
Right on. All right, we're going to move it on over to PALMSIDE. What's going on, Palm?
What's going on, Dow? Just been over here chilling in the lab, just, stuffing these rosin bags and squishing this rosin.
Well, you've been on that mission for a minute.
It's more than a one-person job, but I'm just taking it as a one-person job.
Yeah, I feel that.
My man's swimming in extracts.
I've been trying to get your ass to come over here and help me, man.
We're going to start calling them PALMSIDE Ocean. Hey, man, I'm down to come help whenever. Shit, me. I love Cali, baby.
My boy Plant Builder in the house. That's what's up. What's up, my G?
What up, man? All right, we're moving on over to TANASI Gardens. What up, T-Dog?
Hey there, how are you? Life's good over here, man. Weather is fucking on point, dude, for Colorado. It's been 60s and 70s. So I've been doing a lot of the outdoor, getting it prepped for the garden, like vegetable garden and stuff this year. I have a humongous outdoor garden. So that's indoor gardens on cruise control, man. Not much going on. You can catch that over on the IG if you want. But what's everybody smoking on? Because it is dab time.
Oh
I gotta say,
yeah.
I like how you've stepped up your background game over there. The set's looking real nice with the plant stalk hat rack and you always got the little plant up there with you and the trichome paintings. I dig it, man. It's looking good over there.
There you go. On point.
Looking good, looking good. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna move it on over to Randy Gaston. What's going on, Randy, man?
How's it going, everybody? What's up? Been basically resting up. Haven't been in the best of health. But other from that, still moving towards the grow up, going with the Hampstead Co-op group for what will be the rest of my life, growing marijuana. So just happy to be here. Happy that we got our guest here from Jamaica, another brother, another yardie in the place to drop some knowledge and show some vintage old school techniques. So,
speaking
said,
of our special guest tonight, why don't you go ahead and introduce him to everybody? And
all right, so
do his introduction too.
I'll do that for you, El Bosse. So on panel we have here, he goes by the name Bob Apache, a grower for 19 years in Jamaica. He's a true Rasta brother, true vintage grower. I mean, old school. Know when the lamb's bread drop, confirm it. This brother man is one of the few people I really have in Jamaica that I look up to in terms of growing, and in terms of reasoning is a really true Rasta brother. So bless up everybody and bless up the brother Bob or Apache here from Jamaica.
All right, everybody, we'll go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know what you got going on over there and who you are and all that kind of good stuff.
It's my time now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, first I want to say greetings, to the whole ganja world out there. In the name of His Imperial Majesty, Empress Menen, the balance of life. So we just give thanks for the opportunity to represent Jamaica. As you know, we have a good tradition and a good culture of growing. So I just want to give thanks again for the opportunity to express our views and our opinions from a local representative point. So respect to everybody and thanks to everybody in the ganja community. Keep the good fight going and enough love.
Nice, right on.
Awesome. Glad to have you, man. Definitely glad to have you. Thanks for taking your time to join us.
Absolutely. Looks like you're in some beautiful scenery there, puffing on chalice or something. What you puffing on over there?
Yeah, I'm on the chalice, Well, you can see me because I can't see anything, so I'm just blind right now,
Oh, is that a glass chalice?
No, that's a coconut.
Gerber bottle, baby's food, the first food, nature's first food. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Share a lot, so this is my
I want one.
Sata.
What up, man?
So this is, we have the Homegrown Association. So if we have time, I'll give you a little tour of the garden and so forth. But it's not time, so maybe you don't see as much. But that's how we choose to smoke. Chalice, heat, hair, and water. Three things combined. The bubbling of the chalice, you have the water, purifies it, and it makes it a cleaner smoke.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with weed, the same thing that grow good ganja, heat, air, and water, right?
Exactly. Man, I think I speak for everybody when I say we'd love to see your garden.
We definitely would. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Absolutely.
Hear that last part, what you say?
I said we'd love to see your garden.
Yeah, man. Well, this is one of them. We have a homegrown association, so everywhere, every one of my boys, we all plant and we share genetics. So if I find something that's really good, we try plant it in maybe like in your part of the island versus my part of the island, and we'll see which strain reacts better in which environment. What do you call it? Cultivars? Cultivars? There you go.
Yeah, cultivars. Yeah.
I'm trying to get up on all these big words.
Well, you're doing just fine.
Absolutely.
We have our own terms, but we have to have a universal language that everybody can understand.
Absolutely. So, what are you? Are you just growing cannabis? Are you growing food, or what all you got in your garden over there?
everything. One thing with ganja is the traditional ganja farmer in Jamaica, we monocrop, we don't polycrop. We always have a lot of things going on. Because when you smoke, you have to eat. You need good food. So you have to have healthy food as well to eat. And because we plant in the bush, it's very far. The more we can plant around us, it saves our bills. So we don't have any stores to go to. We don't have anything like that. So we have to eat off the land. So tomato, pak chai, lettuce, callaloo, anything that's fast corn, peas, a lot of things like that, you know. Yams, a lot of different variety of yams. So everything, man. We just keep ourselves nourished, good food, you know.
Nice. Well, I'm pretty sure that's why everybody's here tonight, is to hear exactly about how you grow all those things, what your methods are, what you use for fertilizers, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, that's what we want to hear tonight.
All right, go ahead, man. No problem. So you ready for me to start? We still what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Go
Get
ahead,
right into it.
fire off.
All right, well, basically, growing like a Jamaican, the first thing I would say, we have a ganja queen here in Jamaica, Cathy Lennon. She's pretty popular, one of the persons that I look up to as a traditional grower. And she has been involved writing letters to High Times and, you know, things like that from way back, from the Neville's Brothers days, you know, back. So she's fully experienced with a lot of the universal, you know, ganja affiliation. And she would describe Jamaica as the G spot for growing ganja. And not only ganja, but food and all. So the climate, we have the perfect environment to grow it here. So we actually have a natural competitive advantage, as it were.
They live in the land of VPD.
Yeah.
Traditionally, for us, it's kind of easy. And as you know, ganja is a cash crop. So traditionally, it's something that you have to hide and grow. Traditionally, it's not like now that it's medicinal and the industry is more open. So originally, we plant in the bush, far away, in the mountains and so forth. So when you hear people talk about living soil, traditionally, if we have seedlings, we take our small seedlings, and when we go into the forest, we just do like this, and put your seedling in, and put it back. Because the forest itself, Mother Earth, has been doing this for many years. So we don't really try to tell Mother Earth how to do its thing. We just accept it, and if we can come up with any innovative ways, we try. So you hear people talk about like the lasagna method, where they put the hugel culture. I'm not sure how you pronounce that word, but
yeah, lasagna method's fine. That's fine.
All right. So it's the same way the forest stacks it. So the big tree would fall, a lot of leaves, small twigs, then a whole lot more leaves than it would, you know, wood. So it's the same way. When you have that advantage, you just go to the forest and we plant in between, like a guerrilla style farming, but everything is there. So that is traditionally one of the ways that we have preserved our culture and our genetics. And because nature itself is the ultimate master, the strains will be selected by nature's resistance. So if they're not resistant to nature, then they won't make it. But ones that do make it now, you find they are drought resistant, they are pest resistant, they are mold resistant, you know, and they are very good for you now, or we as an individual, I and I, to consume. It's better for us to consume. So we have a mixture of cultures in Jamaica. So you have the Rastafari, which is more the sacramental or the spiritual aspect of where they would say Rasta and Ganja or Rasta and cannabis is married. It almost is together. And it's not a religion, it's more of a livity, a way of how you will live. So you incorporate this into how you live. It's a part of your lifestyle, from making clothes, your medicine, your food, it's everything. So that's one culture and one way of preserving it. Then you have the other side where Jamaica has been known to, especially I would say in maybe the 80s, 70s, that time, to somewhat provide the world with up to probably, I think one time they were saying the third of the ganja that was around the world, Jamaica was providing it, up to a third at one point. And it goes back and forth. So as far as planting it commercially and planting it just a lot, just planting a lot, we have that tradition of just planting. And then you have the unique niche market that really try to preserve the highest genetics or the best strain, as you would say, the high THC, or the one that gives you that best punch. So you have the connoisseurs that breed these seeds over the years. So within this entire landscape of different ways of growing, different traditions combining now, we have everything almost to our advantage here. So from the greenhouse type of growing, you know, full light deprivation greenhouses, full indoor settings, and of course, majority of it is outdoor. So we have a nice year-round playground, as it were, to work with in terms of ganja and ganja planting. So the traditional way, as you were saying, intercropping has been a mainstay. As we say, one, for food, you plant far away. But what you find over the years, we plant similar things to hide the ganja from like the police or the soldiers. So for things like pigeon peas or what we call gungo peas, they'll have that similar growth pattern. So you'd find that rows of ganja, rows of peas, rows of ganja, rows of peas. Or some people use the peas to border the ganja, as it were. But what you find now, it works as a very good soil amendment. So over the years, we have traditions that we grow things, especially flowers, a lot of flowers, because they attract pests that would take care of the bad pests, the bad bugs in the garden. So we just find that over the years, this method of growing in our culture, because we were forced to do it in the hills, has actually preserved the organic, or what we call the ital way of growing. So most Rasta, when you hear they talk about ital, you see like how the Jews have like the kosher standard. It's like a certain set of standard that they ride by. So they would say like no animal excrement. So like things like guano and, you know, cow dung, and they won't use it. So they use a lot of veganic methods, vegetable growing, composting, things like that. So, you know,
we call that companion planting.
And then there's Kyle Cushman that does veganics. And it seems like that's like a really similar method to what Kyle Cushman uses. Is probably where he learned it, to be completely honest.
Do you guys do a lot of composting down there? You must have the perfect climate for it.
Yes, man. Yes, man. When you compost is what? All right. Traditionally, when you're learning about ganja from the elders, the first thing they tell you to do is toil in the soil. So basically, spend your time in building your dirt. So your compost or whatever it is, you spend that time to deal with the soil. Yeah, dirt, man, big up. I know you like that one. Yeah, man, you spend the time in the dirt. Because once you put the most time in the soil first, it gives you less work in the last part. You really don't have to do anything much. The soil will just, it's there. Everything is available, and the plant will take what it wants and use what it wants because it's there in abundance. You know, so that is really the mainstay. So you find, for example, now recommendations in terms of people who are going into growing, we say, okay, start with some rosemary, make sure you have an aloe vera patch. You know, you have certain little crops that you probably want to start from now before you even get your crop going to establish. So when you need to do your clones, or if your plant look a little sick, you can draw for your aloe vera, make your aloe vera water, and you know, things like that. And the more you use plants that are in your direct environment. So for example, if you live in Michigan and you're taking things from California and so forth, because of your area and you are technically doing it indoors, I guess it's okay. But for us, when you take it from other areas, it's much more productive when you use ones that's within your environment, from the natural environment that you have. So that your success rate goes up that way, you know. And of course,
absolutely.
And you know the slang, the bigger the roots, the bigger the fruit. So the more you can make your roots move and grow, and then the plants will come up same way. You know, so it's an understanding that you just encourage to build your soil and spend time in building your soil, and you have a perfect regime otherwise.
And it allows you to be a sustainable farmer at the same time.
Yes, man. And as I said, remember the key about doing this is really just to practice what nature has been doing for years. You're not trying to do anything beyond what nature has been doing. You're just trying to work within the realms of nature, accepting it and just giving thanks, you know, because you will get something good out of it, you know.
Absolutely. We had one question from chat a minute ago, and they wanted to, I think it was Sid, and he wanted to know if there's any way that you guys can utilize the ocean water in your grows. Is there anything you guys do to utilize the ocean water?
Well, we don't really use the salt water a lot. It's very, the salt is high, so it burns the plant, you know.
Yeah.
But the food found in the ocean, like the food, the seaweed or what
kelp and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So the food that's found in the ocean, even certain types of rocks that you find on the reef, you have certain types of rock that depending where you are, it will be a very good amendment to your soil because of how long it will last. Maybe you won't see the results, maybe the first crop, but like the second and the third crop, by the time it starts to break down, you just really see the benefits kicking in, you know. Nice.
What's your favorite kind of strains to grow down there?
Me personally, Jano, you know, say I like imbibing in ganja. So as long as I have good, clean herb is a must. But in terms of strains, I'm known as Bob on the job. I'm always doing something. I try to keep myself busy. It's better to be busy than bored. You understand?
Absolutely.
Bob on the job. I like, obviously, sativa strains, something I can smoke. And I know I function well. You know, I keep going. I'm on the move a lot. You know, so that's really my personal strain. You know, in terms of flavor profile, I don't really like it too sweet. I like it kind of on the dirt side when it tastes like dirt, you know, kind of have that dirt kind of mineral kind of taste into it, you know, coffee kind, you know, that kind of woody kind of, you know, them kind of.
That's how you know it's good quality stuff right there, if it's got the mineral taste.
Come on. I like it. See, like
and the smell in particular.
You might taste the guava or whatever on the pulp, but when you blow it out, the exhale gives it that nice earthy mineral aroma, you know. So that's what I kind of like to smoke. Personally, I don't smoke by myself. I'm a kind of communal smoker, so hence the chalice, if you notice. I don't know if you can see, but it's just something that we do. Yeah, so, you know, it's like a communal thing we do. You know, so like, we did some clones this morning, and it's like a communal thing. So the ganja has a thing about sharing. The whole vibe behind ganja and the community behind ganja. And I mean, you guys can see the way I see you guys interact with each other and so forth. Ganja is something that brings people together. It's something that you share. You know, so when you have something good, just like when you have a good strain, the first thing that comes in your mind, Trick, is like, man, I need Dirtman Dan to taste this, or, you know, so that is the kind of vibe that we like to push with the herbs. We like to share it and move it that way, you know. Nice. So we have to good things to share. We don't give people bad things, you know.
Yeah, I definitely think that's universal. No matter where you go, man, you got some good herb, you want to share it with everybody.
It is definitely universal. No matter where you travel, it's the same community of people, just in a different place.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with drugs, and nobody doesn't share drugs. When somebody buys whatever, they don't want to share it. They go and hide and do the thing by themselves. When you have a good piece of ganja, you want to share it. You need to share it with your friends, you know?
You want to show it to your friends.
Yeah. You want to show that shit off, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Take some pictures of it, too.
Yes, man.
Man, it looks like a really nice night over there.
Yeah, it was raining earlier. That's why I kind of changed the location, you know?
I wish I could show you guys the crappy weather I've got here with the 3 feet of snow out there.
Bob, you said it was raining earlier. Can you elaborate on just how much it rains where you're at?
No, like 2 hours.
No, like how much rain do you get a year?
Tim, I'm sorry, Tim. Oh man, that shit gets on my nerves.
Pheno hunting, and this is a little homegrown kind of, you know how it goes, compost teas and.
Oh, nice.
You know?
Nice.
Very nice. Sorry, Tim Mess. We're broadcasting to you from a garden in the middle of Jamaica. I'm sorry the sound isn't up to your fucking preference levels. Jesus Christ. people.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyways,
He brought
back
up
to
an
the
interesting
garden
point.
talk.
He brought up an interesting point that
I bet we do a dab, dude. Let's do some dab time, man. A little safety break here.
Dab time. I'm with you, my brother TANASI.
I got a bong packed up just for that.
What up, Melty Bob? We have temporarily lost your video. I don't know if you can still hear me, but we have temporarily lost your video right now.
I'm trying to get back in.
You went too deep into the jungle, man.
Jason Voorhees says, I remember watching Strain Hunters. Arjon said that the landraces were gone because of designer strains. How's the land races and what conservation efforts are being made? So what do you guys do to preserve the landrace strains up there from all the American shit coming in the market?
Back.
Yeah, man. You're good.
Yeah, what you saying? I asking about like
The land races.
Basically, they want to know how you preserve your landrace strains with all the different like American strains and European strains that are coming into the markets. How do you preserve those old school Jamaican genetics?
Well, let's put it this way. It has to be, we give thanks to the Rastafari, same way. Because of this spiritual movement, or because of the nucleus of this, and keeping the essence pure, it is through the Rastafari that the genetics have been preserved. Because they have a direct resistance. You see, like your 420 resistance, they have a resistance against polybred strains and things like that. So all the hybrid, any kind of hybrid herb, they don't really want it. It could be good, bad, or ugly. No matter how it looks, no matter how it smells, they don't want it. They want real 9 months herb, 10 months, original landrace sativa. That's what they consume on a daily basis because it enhances them better. So we have them saying, but as I said, Jamaica is also a country that we are not left out of anything. No matter what it is, no matter what it is in the world, we are not left out. So if the Cadillac V20, if the new Apple 100 is the new thing, we're going to have it. So if the animal cookies, if the tangerine, whatever strain, we are going to get it. No matter where it is in the world, it's going to be here in Jamaica. I can tell you that much. Because we have a reputation, our tradition, and a culture of high grade. So whatever, we're going to need it. And when it's grown here, it's somewhat more appreciated. As a matter of fact, that's really the new trend with the whole legalization movement in Jamaica now. The biggest trend we see is for example, like you, Tricky. What is a strain that you have for yourself? Have you created a strain for yourself?
I have created, I've only created one strain, but it's actually kind of popular and people really like it. But it's called Blue Tangerines.
All right. So what the new movement is you have your established Blue Tangerine. I get it here. I grow it. You get it back there. So now you have Blue Tangerine grown in Jamaica. So it puts a little
extra kick in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is kind of what we have
there's
left.
Actually, there's actually a term for that.
What's up, Sabo? Go ahead.
Oh, there's a term for that. It's called terroir, and it's used in the wine industry. And basically, because Tricky strain is grown in Jamaica, it will taste different than when it's grown anywhere else because of the Jamaican soil. Yeah. And it's the same thing for like vintage wine growers and stuff like that. If wine is grown in a certain area, it has a certain terroir.
Regarding that, that's actually a true thing because I remember the reason why I love Girl Scout cookies is because I had some that somebody kind of smuggled down. I will not divulge how or whom smuggled down, and I was like, yeah, anything is a tricky. Yeah, they smuggled it down. It gave me a really nice sweet taste. I was like, damn, I have to grow this. Got some seeds. But what I realized, the pheno or the overall profile of the plant just completely changed. It had a earthy taste. At the same time, I could get the same sweetness that I fell in love. So depending on your geo or your area, your overall longitude and latitude can affect the grow of your bud and the taste of your bud. Bring your blue dreams or blue tangerine down here. It might pick up a guava tree, might pick up a mango tree, and when it come back, it might taste like oranges and mangoes.
And there's somebody in chat, Plant Builder, saying terroir is a myth, produced, is propagated to sell wine. I think I have to disagree with that because I know, like, say,
sure,
me and Land and Air Genetics are in the same state, but we're at 6,000 feet of elevation are between us. He's at 11,000 feet, and I'm at 4,000 feet. And just growing one of his cuts down here completely changes the profile, the growth structure, the patterns, and everything.
Yeah.
And we're in the same state. We're just at different elevations.
It happens anytime you give somebody a cut. You give 2 friends, 3 friends the same cut, and you're going to end up coming back with 3 different things if they bring you back some of it to try. It doesn't even have to be a long distance. Just 3 different environments and 3 different grow rooms, and you'll see a difference.
Yeah, different lights, different soil, different techniques, like just different everything. It just that's why when somebody tells me, oh, like just for instance, fuck Blue Dream, Blue Dream's garbage. Well, maybe the Blue Dream you had grown by Joe Dumbass in his basement was garbage, but that doesn't mean that every Blue Dream on the market's garbage.
Exactly.
Sounds like
we were talking about one
down there and do a taste test.
Well, a perfect example of that, we were talking about it a little while ago, maybe last week or the week before, about how every time that a few of us, me and I think it was Loki that I was talking to, have seen Blue Dream, it's been something completely different. I can't even tell you truthfully what a real Blue Dream is anymore, you know?
I think I've had it enough to where it's got a pretty specific taste. You know, it's got a pretty sweet taste to it. And if it doesn't have that sweet taste with kind of a berryish smell, you know, you're probably not working with anything close. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It does change drastically from grower to grower.
Okay, so here's a cool question. Reels100 says, that explains why, when I get a cut back, it seems the same. Well, because you're growing it back. I mean, I would imagine it retains its genetic structure, but just the environment it's grown in changes the outcome of it.
Well, if you had it once before and you're used to it growing a certain way, and then you get it back and grow it in the same environment again, you should have something pretty similar come out.
Yeah. Now, see, I have a perfect example of this going in my garden right now. So when I lived back home, I grew a cut of Dairy Queen for about 8 years. I love this cut of Dairy Queen. It's my favorite smoke ever. Grew it for 8 years. Before I left home, I gave the cut to a friend of mine. Well, he gave the cut. He came and visited me not too long ago and brought me the cut back. Well, I'm about 7 weeks into flower with it right now, and it's nothing like what I grew back home. It's completely different. The profile's different. The structure's different. And I know it's the same cut I gave him. But growing it here, it's completely different.
That is true because that same thing happened with the cut of cookies that I sent to Land and Air. His looked nothing like mine.
Yeah, and that was a big jump. You went from sea level to 11,000 feet.
Yeah, that was. But the frost that he got on it though was crazy, dude.
Yeah, and Melty too gave me a cut of his Citrix. Now the profile came out about pretty much exactly on point, but the structure was different on the ones I grew than he grows.
What I think is weird, this plant itself is so adaptive that once you change location, remember, I live in Mandeville, where Bob lives in Kingston. I can grow certain strains in Kingston. Now, honestly, sometimes the sun will burn it up depending on even where you are in Kingston. But here in Mandeville, I see the plant then mold up, and then after the second run, it basically resistant to mold. Weed is just a plant that adapts to anywhere and everywhere you put it. Even in sand, even on stones, this plant just has a natural system to just develop and grow the best way possible.
Those are some nice looking buds, Bob.
Yeah, man, music, you know.
All right, we got another question from chat for Bob. He says, do you use compost teas? And you know, if you want to elaborate on that, because I'm sure you do. How do you make your compost teas?
All right. Traditionally, as I said before, Jamaica is super diverse. So you will find all the different grow methods here. So if I say compost tea, like the one I showed you earlier, this one has to sit for like 2-3 days, depending on the type of herbs that you use. So different herbs break down quicker, and then different parts of the herb break down quicker. So like the root versus the bark versus the leaves. So the leaves are the easiest part to break down. So for example, you can put like neem leaves. You can put them in water, and when you soak them for 24 hours, you can use that water itself as an insecticide or whatever you want it to use for, you know. But if you're gonna use the root or the fruit now, like the berries itself, you might want to grind it up and maybe wait a bit longer or parch it before, put it in the oven before you use it to stimulate the growth of the enzymes inside of it. But in terms of compost and compost tea, we will practice just putting it on the plants. As I said, preparing the soil. And once you do that, you shouldn't need to do anything with it. But if we do it now, like in modern days, like for the modern grow houses where our soil might not be as best as how we maybe brushed it, if you know what I mean. Just put it together, some good topsoil, and we're using our compost tea now to work as amendment. Then we use an aeration method. So you know how we use your bubble stone, how we stir it.
Yeah.
And basically, we do that by smell. So once you put your tea in there and it has that sweet, nice smell, then you know it's ready to use. And the froth on the top of it, that's kind of indicators that we use. So I was asking a couple questions with like Randy and a couple of the guys early in the week, which pH meters they use, and because we're not very familiar with, you know, things like that. But we have natural ways that we use to judge if it's ready, you know.
Nice. I gotta take a step back just a second here, because something you said just hit me hard. You have neem trees there, and you can just go pick the leaves off the neem trees.
Yep. A part of my grow, I'm getting the seeds so I can actually plant them alongside the grow. Neem trees are, when I looked into it, when I found out the actual benefit of neem, I was like, wait, I've seen this plant before. It's along the coast. It's basically in every parish of Jamaica.
That's amazing, because we pay good money for neem oil over here. Like a lot of growers in the U.S., they'll pay $30 for a little bottle of neem oil. Like, so it's amazing. That's an amazing resource to have, to be able to just go pick fresh, unadulterated, untampered with neem, and be able to make your stuff with it. It's amazing.
Oh, and it must work for some sort of pest prevention as well, just being there in the garden. I mean, naturally.
All right, you see, even a method now, like a lot of the golf courses, what they will do, they will plant the neem tree on the outside of the golf courses.
Yeah,
so
man.
a lot of the like that, they won't be bothering to you. So even naturally, when you can plant them around your crop, and you have a next one that's really popular, we call moringa. That one is the ultimate food substitute. Like you've probably heard of like spirulina and shit like that, you know?
Yep.
But this one, every single nutrient you want and more protein than beef, and the cal-mag ratio is excellent. So when you use things like those and make a compost tea to add to your plants, you don't want anything else, man. I tell you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Kind of on that topic, we have another question from chat. It says, what are some of the beneficial bugs that get attracted by flowers there, or what kind of beneficial bugs do you guys like to see in your gardens down there?
All right. It's like the small gardens. It's very dependent on the environment. We have to be very resourceful. What we do, we have to be very resourceful in everything we do. So your environment will dictate what you use. So if you have a problem with, like, say, slugs, you have some plants that grow a lot of maca, as we call it, what you call it, thorns. Like a lot of thorny plants. And they run on the ground. So you see like how you use like clovers for your cover crop, you might use one of those. Keep off those kind of bugs. You see like wasps. Wasps are predators. And you see the thing about using chemicals why we don't use chemicals. Every creature, even you yourself, you will build up a resistance to this kind of chemical. But you cannot build up any resistance to something that eats in your life. Yeah.
I love that saying, man. There's no resistance to being eaten.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's hard to avoid.
The more bugs you have, so you know you have like the praying mantis, and they have certain little bugs that eat creatures, but the wasps are real good, especially for like white flies. The wasps take care of them, you know.
Okay.
And the and things like that.
Yeah, but I don't want wasps in my garden.
They come in kind of late at that time, the ladybugs. They come in kind of late, and then you have to kind of wait because the ladybugs don't really do anything. It's when they hatch. When they hatch out, they have some little the ladybug babies. Them guys are like some gremlins. They just and you understand? Yeah, man, them get crazy. So, you know, you have different kind of bugs that you use. So, but you have to see a healthy balance in your soil. So when you lift up your soil, you need to see worms, you need to see things moving through it. You don't want to see an over balance of anything. You want it to be nice and balanced. See me? And you have some flowers. Any flowers that give off a smell. When you plant it in the bush, you notice that the bugs will take onto certain flowers, but certain flowers they don't like. So if you know that they don't like this one, that is the one you put beside your prize bud. The bud that you really like, you make sure you plant those around it. So like rosemary, you have peppermint, you have certain plants that emit a smell that the bugs don't like, you know. So even in the evening time, you walk around, you have a stick, and you just kind of break the bush a little bit so the essence comes off. And you have different ways to keep bugs out of your field. You have another style that we use traditionally every evening when we pull the weeds because it's field. So we have a lot of weeds coming up. You make small piles, like maybe every 20 feet, you make some small piles. And about 4 or 5 o'clock, you know, like when it's going down, you light them fire. So the smoke itself run away the bugs, because if the bugs don't settle on your field by evening, they found somewhere else to sleep for tonight and feed, you know. So they're not gonna come in. And then what we're learning now, working with the greenhouses, is that the extra CO2 gives them a boost. So traditionally, we have been doing things to enhance the growing without even knowing it, you know. But once you work with nature, you cannot go wrong. That is a mark right there, you know.
Oh yeah. All right, I got one question just for my own personal thing. I'm really interested in charas. Do you make charas? Is that one of the things you like? What's the deal with charas?
All right. Charas in Jamaica is kind of a two-step thing. One, every personal grower kind of gives that away. Or you save it for a tourist who might know the value and give you what it's worth. But that's like a token. So like you as a grower, when you're cleaning up your herb and all that stickiness on your finger, we call it
scissor hash, yeah.
All right, but we take the one off your finger, not the scissor, you know, your finger.
Yeah.
That finger hash or the finger, that is like the creme de la creme, the prized possession, you know. So you give that to your best friend or your nephew or your niece or, you know, somebody that you respect a lot. But you have certain parts of Jamaica that have a tradition of making these. And they do it, so they'll go in the field and they will tell you that they have to go when the sun is hot. Because the hotter the sun is, the more the resin comes up on the herbs.
Okay.
So you go in the field, it's hot, and you do your rubbing. You know, some people put plastic around their bodies. Cause I mean, not a big fields, you know, tricky, dense plastic. You see like that picture you have behind you? Even though that picture like kind of hemp looking, but just imagine kind of more ganja looking, you know. And I tell you, they rub around and they get crazy, you know, but you know, it's a market and they use it to make certain products and certain medicine. So when a man say they make ganja oil, that's like a RSO, you know. But when they make ash oil, when we say ash or finger hash, that's what we're talking about. So we make the oil from that. So it's a different level. You know, you use it for different levels of medicine.
Nice.
Have you ever made rosin over there yet?
Yeah, man, I was telling Randy that we got a Sasquatch. Somebody gave us a Sasquatch, man, and we wrecked that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm talking
Wow, that's
I haven't even
awesome.
had a Sasquatch yet.
Nice.
about.
Yeah,
I
good
am
for
here
you.
jealous. Maybe. Don't worry, I'll be making
Respect
my
for
way.
sure.
All right,
It's
now
charge money. Yeah, man.
I know that you do K and F, right? You're a K and F.
Well, I would say that we use KNF methods
Okay.
traditionally in some way or form. And you will find that every indigenous country or every indigenous culture will have some remnants of the KNF or the organic style because it's just a more natural style. So they will all have basic undertones of this. But now, as I said, innovation is something that we are not left behind in Jamaica. So we're definitely up and using our IMOs and getting our level one. This brother who I'm here now at this particular grow where he is now at this yard. He's really onto it. Like this man is onto like his kombucha and all these things, and he's showing you, okay, you gotta make it out of this when you want it for growing. So you use faster growing things to inoculate in the growing time, and in your flowering time you use things that are hard. So like the yam skins and the skins of the star fruit are, we have a lot of vegetables that have rough, hard skin here. So you use that in the fruiting time and things that grow fast. So you see in your gardens like the weeds that grow the fastest, quick, and you can't seem to get rid of those guys. Those are the ones you want to use. You see like the vines of the potatoes, the guy, anything that grows, that's what you want to use in your growing stages when you make your whatever you want to call it. We call it ferment or roots. We make roots out of it, kind of like a tea almost. So we're getting familiar with the terms as well, which I would say the FPJs. Am I right, Andy? Yeah.
Yeah,
So we make
plant juices and stuff. Yeah.
it and make like a rum, man, and give the plant some rum to drink. I like those rum and them all right. I like that, some healthy rum.
Plant rum, yeah.
So
All right.
what
So,
Anything that you can take for yourself as growers, it's very important that the healthier you get in terms of growing, yourself will also become healthier because the same things that you do to your plants, you can use for yourself because we are using fully vital organic items. So if you find yourself with certain problems physically and so forth, these are the type of juices, fermented plant juices and things that you yourself need to take and use. Because as you know, historically, the word cannabis itself, they have male, female, hermaphrodite, and same way in the human species, you have the same thing, male, female, hermaphrodite. In the ancient tradition, they will tell you that every animal has a plant that's correlated to it. So like the horse will have like a horse whip, the dog have like a dog blood, they have different bush or different herbs that connect. Ganja itself is for the human race. Ganja is our herb. So whatever is good for ganja should be good for us. You understand? So we can take it on that level as well. So that's why we don't really encourage the synthetics and so forth, just because of what it does to the earth and we ourselves in the future. So if we have to
That
give
is
up
true.
THC points or whatever it might be, yeah man, no problem. It's better for us to consume in the future. Full spectrum
Yeah.
as my virgin. Yeah, we don't want to overdo anything. You understand? Full spectrum. Yeah, he's up on
And
all the
speaking
time.
of that, Bob is true because the merengue that he spoke of earlier, 2014, when I got chicken gunya, that plant itself, I got the leaves and I got the fruit, and I kept on dosing my body with it until I gained back weight, gained back actual full mobility and everything. So yes, the stuff that we do put into our ganja at times are the healthiest stuff that we can put into our body as well.
nice. All right. Let's see. I think we had another channel. Piccolo Son asks, do you guys use any type of ash in your soil?
Ash.
Yeah, man, like coal dust.
Biochar.
Yeah, biochar, volcanic ash, anything like that.
Put it this way. Our method of growing, you take a piece of virgin land. So you go into the bush and you have a piece of virgin land, meaning that there's nothing has been cultivated on that land for a while. So you know, it's first of all, that is your test. So you don't, we can't do soil samples, right? So we just use the bush. I know that there's nothing being planted here, no corn, no nothing, you know. So it's organic. So a lot of people, they practice slash and burn. So they will cut small piles of the bush and burn it. But that naturally creates an element of biochar that's kind of tilled into the soil. And now, when you burn it, they will kind of rest the land for a couple of days first. And usually, most of these things with time with the moon. So when you work with the moon cycle and nature, you find that it assists your growth pattern as well. It balances out. You know, as I said, nature has been doing this for years. So who are we to really kind of, you know, unless you're full indoors when you can play God, then definitely do your thing. But when you're at nature's mercy, we work with nature, you know.
Did you say you have no way to get?
Did you say you
have no way to get your soil tested at all down there?
Yes, man. Yeah, they have ways to get it, but one, it's fairly slow and it's kind of expensive, not necessarily expensive. However, the percentage of farmers that you have. So, for example, if you have 100 farmers, then I would say probably 80% of them will not be willing or able to, you know, kind of do it. But by using our traditional methods, we can judge ourselves and know that this soil is vital. But we have to understand now, to enter the medicinal field, all of those medicinal fields will be tested from seed right out till end. So the soil, the water that's going in there, everything, the medicinal standards that we have here are of international. So you find that any one of our herb houses or dispensaries that has been opened in Jamaica, for example, the most recent one, Kaya Herb House, where they actually have strains on Leafly already. So Leafly, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Leafly. They have the strains, they have the location, they have the profile. So, but you understand, the medicinal industry is universal. So once you're in the medicinal industry, any country that kind of operates, it's going to become an entry-level playing field. You know, and that's one aspect of in terms of the medicinal industry. So our sacramental rights in terms of Rastafari is a bit different than the medicinal industry and the recreational industry.
All right, we're about halfway through the show here. You know what that means, guys? What's everybody in chat smoking on? I just want to take a second to tell everybody, please share the stream. You know, YouTube has really been condemning us lately. They've changed the way live stream operates all of a sudden. They're not putting notifications out to people. I get emails from people saying I haven't got a notification for a show in weeks. So YouTube is really trying to put the squash on us, and I'm going to fight them to the bitter end until they eventually make me leave. But please share the stream. Please get the information out. Let us know what you're smoking on. I'm hitting on some Citrix, actually. And if you guys got any questions for Bob or Randy or anybody else on the panel, please always be sure to tag us in the questions so we actually see them and they actually get answered.
Packing a bowl of that Malibu pie, you know, tasty, tasty stuff. Little nuggets.
I want to give a shout out to Pedro, Urban Farmer, Medically Fit, Dr. J303, Zooey and Slammer, and everybody else in chat. Appreciate all you guys being here with us tonight. Melty, and everybody, you know, we love all you guys. Love seeing you here. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the show tonight.
I can't see chat because I have to sacrifice something. It's either YouTube or Hangouts. The bandwidth, since it rained, it was shitty. I think there's water getting in the lines.
Oh shit, I got the camera stuck on Bob over there, so.
The one thing about Jamaica is it rains, like just about every day down there?
Just about.
Yeah. It's pretty intense with how much it rains down there, which is another reason why their plants grow so darn well. One, they're like right next to the equator. Two, they live in the land of VPD. So, you know, you got a lot of things going for you down there. And I'm going to spark this blunt of some Doctor Who.
Nice.
What's PALMSIDE got in the bowl over there? I know you've been smashing something.
PALMSIDE's all fresh out of everything.
No way.
I got a fresh pound of cookies, rosin.
Oh boy,
Gosh, son, see?
I'm jealous.
And the extra half.
And what?
And the extra half pound.
Ah.
I kind of have a question for Bob. You hear me, Bob? You're familiar with growing in Oteria side of the island? Never grow there before.
Yeah, man, I have people that farm on that side. I have a nice growers network right across Jamaica. Like pretty much
Nice.
every parish have a good connection right across, the island. So
No.
that's what I'm saying.
Reason why I ask is I'll be going there in all honesty. The grow site will be centered around that area. What I realized with Ocherius, different from any part of the island, the humidity is different. It's different. Because as I said, it's called Ocherius, 8 rivers. Located so around so many rivers, we can literally feel the water moisture in the air more well.
Yeah, man, it's thinking about what you will find is that certain plants now, it's like those places, you find that you won't have to water your plants as much. The plants will suck from the air. So once the soil, once the breeze is not a lot of saline water, like a lot of salt water, then you'll be fine. The plants themselves, as I said, are very adaptable. So you start with strains that are cultivated in your area, your geographical region. So even if you have something that you like, you probably, you mix breed it and can keep it closest to what you like. So like right now, I'm down to about a F5. I've been doing a breeding for the other year, and I'm down to about a F5. So I want to put the two of them together this year. So I have like a couple males out of this side and a couple out of the A side, as I would call it. And I finally found a male out of the B side. So I can kind of put them together. So I'm saying you have different ways to kind of just, cultivate and do your thing. But it takes a lot of time. And that's why even with the
Understand?
question earlier when they were talking about the Jamaican Lambsbird, it took me about 4 years to kind of stabilize the strain and prove it, test it to people, give it to people that have been around from the 60s and 70s and not telling them what it is. Just give them something and say, hey, bless up, have fun with the sacrament. And yeah, when they say, wow, but this tastes like the lamb's bread from the back in the day, man. And I say, okay, that sounds good. So the growing pattern already indicates it to me. And then the taste by the elders, because I wasn't around that time, so I really can't tell you. And
Yeah,
I
I
wasn't
forget the elders to understand and give you better wisdom. As I say, going there and working with these people, one thing I said, because the air is so moist, so humid, I'm worried about any kind of mold. I said, most of these plants, I don't know what are going to be growing until them say when I'm where. So I'm basically going to have to give the air its virgin soil, as you say, so I'm going to have to really and truly amend it out and get it prepared out for a good month before we can actually go on it.
So speaking of mold, we actually had a question in chat. How do you dry your plants down there where it's so humid and moist all the time?
The lights just came on, so I figured I'd come in the garden and show you guys how the garden's looking right now. So this is my ganja garden.
Man, looking good.
So just figured I'd let you guys see what's happening here. All right, I'll be back on the computer.
So yeah, we had a couple people calling you guys cannabis artists down there. But yeah, they're interested in how do you dry your plants? How do you like to dry your buds?
All right. Traditionally, in the field, we build huts. So we build nice huts. We either use burlap or something like that on the side so the rain can't trouble it. And then we pack the buds. We just hang them on strings and pack them in. But the key to a proper, you see, all right, I would say in Jamaica, our biggest challenge is curing, the proper cure. So to grow the herb and for the herb to come good is really, a good part. We have Marcel, but the curing is where we fail. The humidity level gives us a challenge a lot of time because it's very hot in the day, then it goes very cold in the night, then it's hot again in the day, then it's cold in the night, and it's thick right through. You know, so if you don't have a proper airflow system, so you have to really be aware of how the wind blows in your geographic region and set your hut, as it were, your herb hut or your tent, whatever you want to call it. That airflow flows through it because it needs that airflow without giving it too much light. So you have to strike that perfect balance. So a lot of times you find that where the airflow comes into the hut, the light will come in as well. So the buds on that side might be a little more weaker than the ones on the inside that's getting the perfect airflow and no light. So it's getting that perfect, so that's why traditionally I would say we have a vintage style of growing. That would be the word I would use to describe our Jamaican product on a whole, vintage, because there's nothing we can really do to replicate what we gave you the last time. Something about the start, the rate, whatever it is, made that crop so significant. So, genetics have a lot to do with it, the majority, but definitely because of our growing pattern, that's solidified. So who has the money can definitely use a lot of indoor methods also, use the AC and make sure your humidity is at 65 or, whatever it is that you might require for the different type of strain, because, curing is also strain specific.
It doesn't seem like they do a lot of... Go ahead, I'm sorry. It doesn't seem like they do a lot of topping in their outdoor gardens down there either.
No, man, I don't have time for that, man. It's a whole heap of ganja, man. You see, when you're planting maybe like 10 trees or 20 trees that you're going to take care of, it's not so bad. But when you're looking at maybe like 300, 400 at a time, it's kind of difficult,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right now, if only you're a special girl that you really like, or you might tap her, take a few cuttings from her, and try to keep back that strain because whatever it is that you might like about it. You understand? I take it that way. But traditionally, we have a crop of keep it going. As I said, balance is the human element of balance. So for example, if you eat the same foods every single day, you naturally lose your body's ability to be flexible. So when the climate changes, you won't have that resistance. So for example, when we are changing climate, we get a lot of citrus fruits. So a lot of like lemons, oranges, apples, things with high vitamin C. So if you are eating that right when the cold season coming, where everybody's getting colds and flus, because you're working in the season, you'd find you have more of a resistance to it. So it's the same thing with the herbs. If it's the same kind of herbs you're planting, right, and the same method, they won't have that kind of resistance within themselves. You will have to keep doing more things to keep them naturally resistant. But we grow them to nature standards, so every year they get a little more resistant towards nature and also better for our consumption and our own.
I like it. You're letting Mother Nature do the pheno hunting and selecting for you.
So how long have you been growing ganja, Bob? How long have you been growing food? How long have you been growing ganja? And which one did you start growing first? I guess that kind of answers itself. But
well, traditionally, my family comes from two of the major ganja producing parishes in Jamaica. Westmoreland.
So you were born into it then.
So, but my direct parents were never involved in it. But like, cousins and aunties, uncles in the district, my parents were the parents that left the rural part, left the country and came to Kingston for jobs, So I kind of just had that country boy streak in me ever since. So lots of summers spent down there. And after a while, as a teenager coming up, you kind of understand what this ganja really is. So, you get involved with your cousins and your aunt start telling you some things about it. So, for example, we have an aunt that usually plant. And we can never go into her garden, never go into her field. However, there are certain times of the month where she requests us, she calls us and asks us to do certain duties in the field. So now that I'm older, I'm saying maybe it's because, a woman has their cycle and certain cycle, they don't go into the field within that time. So that is when they, so it's like a balance. It's a whole elemental balance of family. So from birth, I've been introduced to it. But personally, my first go, I would say I with about 19, 18, 19. I feel big enough, what you call what they call it when you're legally over 18, an adult. There you go. Yeah, man. So it was good since then. I plant small crops, big ones. We always have to use tractors and ask a tractor guy to plow the land for us, and you get like a bucket of seed. You know, like those buckets you get at your 5-gallon buckets.
Yeah.
You get like one of that full of. It takes you like for 2 weeks just to sow seeds out. You know what I mean? 2-3 weeks just to sow seeds. You understand? So it's a balance. So you plant from commercial level, and you see that it's very difficult to do commercial organic. That's one thing I must point out. The more bigger you get, to stay organic is super hard. You have to be very diligent to get a super organic in a commercial quantity. So that's why now, to the evolution of ganja, we're trying to emphasize small farmers, craft farmers, to ensure the quality of the herb. First level being clean, and then you can argue about THC, CBD, and this and that. Entry level has to be clean.
Nice. All right, I gotta address something in chat real quick. All right, you guys, Reels, Beat DT, you guys gotta chill. I mean, it's cool to have I don't mind people having disagreements about things or not seeing eye to eye on something, but name calling and all that shit, y'all can't be doing that. I'll boot y'all. But I'm gonna notify you right here first. This is your notification. Y'all need to chill out. All right.
Let's come in with a big old dab time, dude, and calm everybody
Dab time.
down.
Good call. Good call.
Just calm down, dude. Take a deep breath. Let's light up some torches. Let's get some hot glass going. Let's do a dab, okay?
I wish I had a fucking nice ass chalice in Jamaica under a fucking tree in the shade like Bob does over there, but I gotta fake the funk with my fake one here.
So don't worry, I've been studying some stuff out and pushing things. Randy is a bit sick. I don't let it know to anybody because my body is I don't like telling people that I'm sick. I kind of had a little stomach ulcer the other day. That's why I kind of stayed back in for a couple of days. Had Dominic, aka Helix, coming by to get stuff done. So I'm just healing, honestly, and making them as fast as possible.
I was just sick 3 solid weeks, so I know, man, I was suffering.
Could you imagine putting an e-nail attachment on the end of a chalice like that? That'd probably work pretty darn good.
All right, so Bob, I know before the show you were showing us those 3 sticks you got over there. Why don't you show those to the viewers and let them know what you got over there?
Yeah, bud porn.
Some real Jamaican ganja for you guys right here.
This one is from the St. Elizabeth region of Jamaica. We call it the bread basket. This is the parish that feeds Jamaica. Most of the food production, most of the hotels, this is where majority of the food comes from. Yeah? Also, you can see they provide a lot of the big ones. Yeah? And this is fairly small because this is planted in the short days. So in Jamaica, we have 2 major crops, a long day and a short day. So the long days obviously goes with the summer, and the short days Christmas and times like now. This is nice, kind of real firm and nice crystals on it. But as I said, because of the bulk, you have to clean it up, do it properly, and put it on the board.
What's it smell like?
So yeah, how much do you think each one of those branches are? Like a half an ounce or something?
Yeah, this one will probably give you maybe about 10 grams or so, maybe more.
Nice.
Yeah, man, they're heavy, Alright, this one now, this is from my parish. This is from St. Andrew.
Nice.
As you can see the crystal or anything, but
yeah, it's too dark, but yeah, you get the picture though.
Big chunky buds.
This one smells like a bit like orange with a hint of gas in it. That's a tad bit of that 90 octane.
Nice, some fuely oranges. That sounds good.
Yeah, I love the gas.
Not my personal favorite, but people like it, you know. My personal favorite, and I like this kind of stuff, you know. They get nice and brown when they're about to ripe. It's like the buds change and become nice and brown. So you might think
Which
it's
one is
old or
that?
anything, but it's really nice, you know. So it's green all like the last 2 weeks before it ripes. It gives you this nice brown color. So a nice brown sugar kind of honey color, you know. And the smell is sweet. Like it's like deep sweet, like that honey molasses. Not you know, kind of like that.
Almost like a pungent sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my kind of herb, you know.
Nice.
Like a rotting fruit.
Yeah, put this one on the board right away.
Can I ask you what the market is out or down there? Like, what's pounds go for?
An ounce?
Yeah, pounds.
Pounds, like local versus the high grade, where would I get more like they sell in a mobile.
Huge. They have a wide range. So exotic, anything you want to see from like BC bud, any one of those California or the BC
I
buds.
love that you just said BC bud. That's amazing.
Beasters are infamous everywhere.
Fucking beasters, man. I know.
Yo, BC Bubbleman comes down here on a regular. This person more likely going to be a Jamaican soon.
Understand? As I said before, Tricky, this is Jamaica. We don't get left out of anything.
That's hilarious.
You know what's going on. You understand me? And then not only that, but we're gonna get it and we're gonna test it. We're gonna put it to the test. We like to do that. You see, Mr. Dirtman then talk about pheno hunting. That's a lifestyle. You understand? Yeah, man, lifestyle.
I love
For
that.
sure.
All right,
For
we got a question from chat real quick. BB wants to know, what do you use as your water source? Is it a well? Is it tap? Is it a river? What's your water source for your garden behind you?
Depending on your geographic region, that will dictate. So a lot of places, they don't have water. So we have to truck water from a river. So you pay somebody that has a truck, you get some river water, you bring it, you store it in drums. Most of us use rain. So a rainwater catchment system. Some people have a river, so you can just put a pump into the river, and you have your water.
What do you use personally for your garden?
Me personally, I use a mix between rainwater and then I have a set water that I use with mostly like leaf of life, Cinco Bible, which we call aloe vera. There you go. So that water I will use anytime that I might suspect that the plants are not maybe looking the best they are. I would just give them that. And if I'm really concerned about the plants, like I just get some jelly, go to the market or get some jelly coconut, what you call coconuts, got some jelly, get some jelly water, and that's good for them, you know. Nice. Hydration. Just like you, when you know it's like electrolytes and stuff, you know, it's like plugging in an IV.
Yeah, coconut water is like super water. Yeah.
Actually, the Method 1 people sent me some of that to try out, the cocoa powder.
What I said, that's only if your plant's looking sick or you might feel that they're not doing as good as they should be. You know what I mean?
Do you have any kind of pH problems within your water sources?
Yeah, the pH is
using different chemicals because you know everybody's, as I said, Jamaica doesn't get left out. So if somebody hears that, what's a famous product? What's a famous like the Calmag Organic Bloom? They have some different products that are just popping up all over the place that people are trying. So when you put that in the soil and you don't know how to use it and you're not really sure how to gauge your water, you're gonna find yourself into problems. You know?
Yeah. So the biggest investment here in Jamaica is actually a pH meter. For me, if I don't grow with one, it's basically eyesight. See how well the plant is based on how it reacts. But if not, we've got to have a pH meter. Down here, I'm seeing the water a little bit more alkaline. In some areas, like around the eastern parishes, a bit more alkaline. So it will be up to like a 6.7, 6.8 a little bit sometime when we did test it. But that was like 3-4 years ago when I was growing in Kingston.
Okay, all right. All right, we got another question from chat. DB Lumen wants to know what's your cloning method? How do you clone?
You know this thing?
Yep, aloe leaf. Same thing I do.
Yeah, just cut a piece, dig it up, and just use it like the gel. But I tell you this much, I only have to use it when I have hybrid genetics. So when I get any genetics from that's not been here for a while, then I have to use it. But like the Dapper lamb's bread or my cultivars, I cut it. And I mean no razor or nothing. I can bite it with my teeth and just juke it in the ground, put it in the ground. That's all right. That boy will grow real land race, you know.
And what's your success rate when you do that?
With the land race so far, I'd say over 90%.
No shit.
Wow.
That's incredible.
You guys heard that right? He said, "I bite it,
Yeah.
stick it in the ground, and have a 90% success rate."
Hey,
Crazy.
that's some OG shit right there.
Dude, I know people here in the States that have been
Yeah, can't clone for their life.
years and can't figure out how to clone yet.
Yep.
So
Me
the
too.
fact
Me
that you
too.
can just bite into that shit, stick it in the ground, and get 90%, dude, that's amazing.
He's got the right root
Respect.
up in there.
Respect. Much respect.
Yo, have this man spit in a jar and sell it.
Better than clone it. Better than
Jamaican rooting hormones.
All organic. All organic.
Bob,
Very strain specific. It's not something that would work with any plant. And that is why I would say that this is directly a true land race that I have found over the past 4 years. I have done everything with it. I've messed it with the lights, like give it 24-hour lights for 2 weeks. Then I give it like, I've done everything to it and it has just bounced back. It has, you understand, responded beautifully. Yeah, man. I like it. So my next track for this year is to get up to maybe like 20 clones off this one mother that I have so far from last year and start maybe mixing it with something that I found that I like.
You better give me one of them clones, though. Oh, one of them clones better reach back a mandible. I can't get anything else in return, but more one of them clones there for the lamb's bread. I'm going to breed it back into itself, and then we can give you some seeds.
So when you guys take a clone down there, do you even have to use a humidity dome, or is the humidity in the air good enough to get them to root on their own?
It's depending on where you are and the actual season.
Yeah.
For me, I can take a clone, but I'm not going to take it in the December time because in Mandeville, that bitch get cold, Zine. Nothing to survive. Mold will kill you, this and that. So a humidifying dome would be best for me.
I see Bob over here showing his dome off. He's got his dome with his clones in it.
Nice.
It's very strain specific. I think this one is off the critical push.
Yeah.
Wow, the critical made it all the way to Jamaica, huh?
They're slowly getting here.
He's growing Pedro strain.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, man, that critical of Pedro's I grew outside last year was great. So this might be a little bit of a sensitive question, Bob. If you don't want to answer it, don't answer it. But how big is your grow? Like, how many plants? What's your acreage? What do you got going on?
All right, right now, I have completely restarted and redone everything from, I'd say, my last reap was about October. So I changed location, changed everything. So the only thing I've been really focusing on is really preserving this genetic land race that I have found. That's been my main focus. Like anytime I've seeds from like 2000, 2001, 2004, 2006, so I have a decent seed bank itself. But right now, my major focus was really on getting this lamb's bread, as they call it, or this Jamaican cultivar, to a point where I can share it to worthy cause. You know what I mean? Because everybody come here, and I know their herb will do good, and I know genetics will do good, but I think we still need a Jamaican package and a Jamaican structure we can present to the world and say, hey, we are still here. We still got good stuff going on, good medicine, good clean, healthy, strong genetics, going on.
Absolutely. Good for you. Somebody's got to do that. It needs to be done. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. Like as you said, Bob take 4 years to figure out the gene.
Organization.
Yeah, look for 2.5.
Oh, Pedro's trying to steal my bed over here for it's TANASI's house for the DGC Cup. Pedro, you trying to steal my bed, man?
I might be sleeping on the floor.
Bob, you said you were gonna get your stuff tested. What's the testing environment like down there right now? Is it easy to take your stuff somewhere and get it tested, or is there like one facility that does it? What's the regulation procedure like? Can you tell us more?
Most of the testing will come up, especially when we have like the cups coming on. You find like, I know you're familiar with Steep Hill. Steep Hill comes out here and they assist with some, sponsorship in terms of getting our strains tested and so forth. But we have local labs like the universities and so forth, and the Scientific Research Council. They definitely go ahead and assist us Saturday with putting together a lot of these testings, But we ourselves, all right, put it this way: when we have studied the testing and even looking at how they test the different tests, they are still the variance is too wide. You know what I mean? Because a plant itself, if you give like the top buds versus like the lower colas, you're gonna get a variance in the degrees of THC and so forth in it. So I'm just saying that the methods of testing that we have seen so far, I still think they're still a wide way off from where they need to be. If you understand what I mean?
You see a lot of people manipulating their samples and that kind of thing.
And you have different ways to cheat the system. And Jamaica, I mean, we have a culture of, we have a culture that exists, or an industry that exists. So to beat the system, you have people that are doing it already. It's like who are going to win the test before the test even come out. You understand what I mean?
Sounds familiar.
Come on. So it's just how it works. You understand? So, and what we really focus on, our testing, especially in the Rastafari community, what we fight for is just pesticide-free, fertilizer-free, so chemical-free. That's the only true testing that we personally require. Everything else, the people directly will demand. Your market will demand. If you're producing something that's clean and nobody wants it, you're not going to plant that again. You understand? So if they want a high THC or a cheesy or a pineapple, whatever your market demands, you can provide it. But the first level should be clean. That should be where you're fighting, the super organic, Don't fight to have the biggest buds or the prettiest looking buds or the most colors or the most sugars in it, Fight to have your thing clean. And your quality.
That's right, that clean product.
After get through with all that garbage for a while, they'll come to realize that, man, I don't get no headaches or my eyeballs aren't scratching me or I don't know whatever happens.
Eyeball scratching.
No, absolutely. You're right. Clean medicine is good medicine. You can definitely tell the difference. They will come for the clean medicine. You don't have to worry about the demand.
All right, we got another question from chat for you, Bob. So we know you make rosin already, but what about other extracts? Do you guys have anything going on down there with like PHO or BHO or any of that other shit? Terp sauce.
They do have like BHO and a lot of like they have some of them, but because we have a huge rum industry in Jamaica, ethanol or food grade ethanol is where you would find most or majority of our extracts being made. So if it's not like ice hash or water hash, if it's not like ice hash or water hash, then you don't really find much. But ethanol based extracts is mostly what we use. That's what you find mostly here. But you will find your BHOs and you will find, your dabs and so forth. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I know we saw Randy had his first dab at the Cannabis Cup last week.
I don't look for their business card, but in Nick Grill dispensary, they do mostly BHO extractions. And I said Bob's hit on a real point. we extract sugar cane and a rapid to make our ethanol. When it goes up, we call it what kulu kulu. That's 90% upward. So because it's readily available, you have BHO and the alcohol-based one competing head to head. A lot of the market is showing most of the BHO because when I was there at the Cannabis Cup, that's what I saw mostly. Everybody know about the extraction or even want to do it because of the risk of even blowing up.
Touch on that a little bit. Touch it down.
So are they using the proper equipment when they're doing these extractions, or is this just some backyard blasting going on?
Remember, sir, sometimes we in this little island can't get the fancy equipment if we send it down, you go and cost an arm and a leg. So
That's
we
what I was
start
thinking.
off with the backyard blasting or find a simple method will go and work for us. Because I made cannabis butter, I use my slow cooker. If I had the magic
absolutely.
butter, I would be using that, but the slow cooker worked for me.
Everybody used those for years before there was a magic butter machine anyway. So
yeah, going on soon, I want to make some aerosol myself. So I'm going to go to the sugarcane factory, get my 95% alcohol, and get my rice cooker, and that would be me.
Rice cookers work great, man. There's none. That's what I use. Shit, what was that other? Oh, I just want to let Randy and Bob know. I know you guys can't see chat, but there's a lot of people in chat saying they're really enjoying the information tonight. It's a great show. They're really loving what you guys are saying. So appreciate that.
They love you, Bob.
Lots of respect. My respect.
And you know, Randy put this show together tonight, you guys. So thank Randy for that one.
Yeah, man.
It's not a problem. In all honesty, I'm grateful to show another Jamaican giving the information and show say, yeah, we're here as girls. We might not have everything in terms of equipment, but when it comes down to strains, we are get them. When it comes on to the method, we have it from the old school days. And who knows, this might be a trend where we get more Jamaicans on each week, alternate American to Jamaican each week, so Tricky can relax sometime.
Works for me. I mean, it really makes the show so much better when everybody is participating as far as the panel goes. Because, like, I don't know Bob. I would have never been able to get Bob on the panel. That's something that only you can do because you know him, and like everybody on the panel can bring those things to the table, and that's when the show starts getting really good.
Yeah, man.
And you definitely picked a great guest. That's for sure.
Thank you, guys. As I said, it was a blessing just meeting him. One day, in all honesty, how Bob and I met is one day I just get a WhatsApp message because I have WhatsApp on my phone. My personal number is on my Instagram, so it's not really too weird, but I was like, okay. And then him show me a certain level where him in the cannabis world, him see what I'm doing. Somebody from Jamaica seeing that I'm out there representing cannabis and trying to be a mini activist made me feel like, yeah, man, the work is being done. So over time, we're just talking. He does radio, news talk thing. And it was just become where we talk on a regular and just exchange ideas. So seeing him as a person where I really do look up to in terms of growing information and actual knowledge. So yeah, man, I'm have to come on the show. So blessings to be here, but blessings for real.
All right, we got kind of a funny question from somebody in chat. They want to know where the clockwork frogs are.
We do not
Bob, for the first few shows we had Randy on where he was living, all you could hear was those frogs. It was just like a chorus for the entire show was the clockwork frogs going off over there.
You couldn't even hear Randy. It was just those frogs.
It was fucking hilarious.
I can tell you something too. You see, a lot of the home growers, that's something that we use. In Jamaica, we have what we call bullfrog. They're kind of big. You know, it's really toads. They're not really frogs. But in the small garden, we use them because they eat insects. So once you pen them in and you kind of feed them, but you put in the big trees, you know, you put in the trees at least 2 feet, So at least they can trample them over. So they
But
actually assist because they eat best. You understand? So they have a way to use them. So as I said, we use our environment and use it to the best. You know, nature has been doing this for years, so we just work with it and give thanks, you know?
I gotta say,
Absolutely.
I'm in love with all of your methods, from your companion planting with planting your neems and rosemary and stuff like that beforehand, getting your crops ready. I love all your methods down there, man. And like you said, it's born out of poverty. You have no other choice but to do it that way. So much respect, man.
It's not the easiest acceptance, but we give thanks that even that forced us to preserve certain genetics and preserve a method and a tradition and a way of life that more people are being tuned into. Everywhere you look in the world now, people want to be big veganic or they want to live, you know, kind of like a nice hippie lifestyle. And you know, it's just something that the Rastafari movement and the liberty of it we give thanks for, because this is way that people like us, like-minded, can come together no matter what race, what creed. We find a way to celebrate diversity and, you know, show love, you know.
that's true. And I honestly, Bob, when I start smoke weed in Jamaica, and I smoke weed overall. I get to sample many things from the island. And we have a girl from West coming in with something from West. And based on what I had, it made me decide what my growing method should be. Because I had some really dank weed, some really good organic weed, and some real fuckery weed. Like when you smoke it, the only thing left you do is to throw away the bag.
Not me. Not my bar.
Yeah, man, like in all honesty, that and you hit on something, the curing. For us Jamaican, we kind of fall short on the curing sometime where you get the weed and it's still wet. Like you're rubbing it out and it's still gummy and it kills your scissors, it kills your grinder, it breaks your grinder teeth. And then when you get it, it well cure and you wonder how come you not get this quality? And then you just get it and it just over cure.
What's the longest time you have ever had cure word for?
Alright. For me, the longest time I really cure herb was a good 2 months. Where I get the jars, and after the first week of keeping it sealed, I burp it every once to 2 to 3 days.
They said
So
2 months. So the rest of the panel, what's the longest you guys have like cured herb that you partake in?
I'd say about a year for me. I've had some shit that I kept around for about a year just to test it.
Yeah, same here. About a year, maybe a little bit longer on some of the outdoor, but
I've got some outdoor that's going on about 6 months.
I can't wait that long. 2-3 months.
yeah, we kind of smoke it. Like when you see it ready and you're like, you know what?
Honestly, for me, I'd say like the 4 to 5 month range is like the perfect range if you can do everything properly and not let it dry out too much. I think about that 4 to 5 months is where you're really hitting that sweet spot. What do you think, Bob?
All right, me personally, that's another test. You see how I test the land race to ensure that it's a land race? The cure is also another way for you to know. Most of our herb now, I can tell you, we have herb that's like 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 4-year-old, you know, 3-year-old. So we save them to know how strong they are to the cure. Because those seeds now, if the herb can cure long, then you want that strain. So we find like the herb that plants are like 9 months or 10 months. Those long strains that are strong, when you keep that herb for like the same 1 year, it might not be as flavorful as you would like. But the punchline, my lord, you wonder if the herb went to train in school. I went to train. Yeah, man. So what the beauty is in the cure. With any herb, it's not specific to ganja. Any herb, your rosemary, your peppermint. Think about like your tea bags. When you get your tea bags, it's properly cured, even though it's probably not the best quality you're getting in your tea bag. But it's the same way. Once you cure down your herb properly, the strength will come in it, you know, and rise up. So the herb that cure the best is herb that we try to keep. And we have some herbs that they don't really good inside the first 2 3 weeks. But after like a month, they're not so strong, you know, not punching so hard. But the strains that punch hard as they go along, That's the one that we like. That's the fire.
All right, we got another question. This one comes from the Big Kush. He wants to know, do you grow logical?
If I go, repeat
Is that a strain?
Yeah, he said
what
logical
is
is a
that?
strain. He said it's a strain there.
Oh.
No, we don't have that yet. We don't have that yet.
All right. We got another question from 718 Green. He says, ask Bob what's going on with all the violence in Jamaica and how does that affect the ganja farmers?
John, no, don't even talk.
What happened with all that?
The
You know what?
violence regarding even Sunday state of emergency in St. Catherine. The violence regarding how does it affect?
It doesn't really affect us mostly, you know. The only thing it might affect is like the traffickers who would be interested to do trafficking or things like that. They might get affected in a certain way. But for us, in terms of our sacrament and our movement, you know, we are, you know, it's all right. Plants are growing, they're good. We just want a little rain, not too much sun. Yeah. We're not too, you know, we don't get involved with those kind of like the political kind of thing, you know.
So that kind of just led me into this question. What is the biggest problems you face as a grower there? What is your like the biggest problems you have?
Well, apart from the environment, you know, with the whole climate change and so forth, it's been affecting us definitely. We're seeing longer periods of rain, unexpected periods of rain.
True.
And then, the rain comes heavy, especially like October and those parts. It was the end of the year when you waited your 9 months or your 8 months for your crop. Then comes the heavy rain that beat the buds down and, you know.
Speaking of which, Bob, last year and up to February wasn't the most we got a lot of rain for in years. Like the years before we got drought.
And that's a traditional dry season. And normally that's a time that's dry. That's a fairly safe time that once you have water in the well, you can pretty much guarantee yourself a good crop because there's not a lot of rain, you know. So apart from the environment itself, curing, I would say, is probably the next biggest challenge, you know. The amount of herb that comes in, a lot of it wastes a lot, you know. And there's just a lot of curing and curing method. Like the post-harvest methods probably need a little improvement, definitely. And then genetics, definitely genetics. Everybody's reaching after like, oh, Tricky D got the blue tangerine, we need to get it. All of a sudden, everybody has blue tangerine, whether it's it or not. Oh, sour diesel, now it's like, so, you know, so just to stay true to your genetics and stay true to a true strain that's powerful in your environment, you know, things like that, you know, we need to step up our game where that's concerned. But apart from that, I mean, we're doing good. We have over 30 years that we'll be doing, especially like medicinal research. You know, you have, you know, doctors like Henry Lowe and so forth that has created products that have, you know, getting their patents and so forth, the whole cannasol and things like that, that asthma pump. You know, so we have things that we've been doing for years here, you know, medicinally and fully legally in terms of studying the herb, you know, the technology. So it's just on the larger scale now. We just need to step up and get more, how you say, connect the innovations to the tradition. So get traditional, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's like a real big temptation for a lot of people there because I know a lot of your strains are what, like 12 weekers, 13 weekers, and if somebody shows up with a pack of seeds and goes, you can flower these in 8 weeks, I'm sure a lot of people want to do that. You're probably losing a lot of stuff that way, right?
Yes, man, and even historically, I can remember like back in the day, we have people that come in, you know, like I used to like white men or, you know, a lot of people from different countries because you had people that came in from Holland, a lot of people from the Dutch, and, you know, definitely a lot of Canadians. And they would give us like seeds and so forth. But my cousins and so forth, they tell us that when they plant the seeds out, you'd find like you get like a 70% or 80% male ratio, you know, and you're wondering what's going on here, if it's a kind of attempt to pollinate our seeds or, you know, something along that line. But you have strains now, as I said, ganja is a cash crop. So if you have something that you're depending on to feed your family, to send the kids to school, you know, to hopefully, you know, pay for the bills that you took by at the shop already, your flour and your, you know, your sugar and your, you know, stuff like that to get through the season. If you have an option to rotate your crop every 2 months or every 3 months, then as a farmer, it would make sense. So we have strains now that I can tell you from seed to ready, 8 weeks, 7 weeks. They're not going more than, not going very tall, but they are powerful and they have smell and, whatever it might be, So that's why I say we have to give thanks to the Rastafari and that has kept these traditions and stayed true to certain of the original Jamaican, foundation level of culture, ganja culture. So we don't mind the influx, we don't mind everything. So it's a good melting pot, but we just give thanks. We still have communities that stay true, that we can. I wouldn't want to say no, it's not the time to take advantage of them, but to somehow, repackage it and say thanks then. Show appreciation by presenting it some way, somehow,
Okay. All right, we got another question from Urban Farmer. He says, do you guys have any problems with rippers? People come and trying to snatch your crop in the middle of the night.
We'll never have a problem with that.
Because that's a big problem around here.
We know Randy
it's
does
so
have
bad.
problems.
It's so bad in like Colorado and California. It's so bad, rippers are, that most growers will sleep in a tent in their garden for the last like 3 weeks of flowering. You will literally sleep in your garden.
Tricky, I'm going to tell you a story before Bob start. I gave a virgin one strain. I think it was a white ice. Finally get back on white ice. Give him the strain. So they actually stole the plant and returned the plant pot itself. They were like, you know what, we love the plant, continue growing some more, but we're going to take everything.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you have similar things now. I mean, even recently, that's what caused my move to break up, because, we did some things, but it's farming. Any kind of farming, you have to expect that, So, traditionally, when you plant, you farm for the thief, you farm for the rat, you farm for the bird, you farm, it's just a part of nature that you kind of have to accept. But I totally understand when you only have 5 trees or 4 trees or 6 plants and everything has gone, this work that you have put in and the medicine and what you have, the ability you have to share, it's just all gone just like that, But that's why we have to trod on, we have to keep moving and trod on, But yeah, it's a problem everywhere, any kind of farming, any kind of food, and especially if you have quality herbs. So the biggest thing you don't tell a lot of people, you just keep quiet, you do to yourself. The ganja farmer traditionally is the hardest working farmer because he goes very far away. He doesn't tell a lot of people, so he has to carry a lot of equipment. He does everything almost by himself if he has to. You understand? So we just keep that tradition going,
Nice.
So do you guys, going back to pollen, do you see a lot of pollen infestation from neighboring farms? Are they close enough to invade your crop with pollen and seed you over too, or are you far enough away that you don't see a lot of that?
And then you see how the wind blows, and Jamaica has a lot of hills and valleys. So you might not even know your neighbor is planting a couple trees, and these trees might just fall by the side and grow, because this is Jamaica. Some guys just rubbing out a spliff on your property, they see them drop. You have many different ways, and the wind carries it so many miles. And one ganja tree, one male plant can pollinate like a half acre, less still, but I'm just saying it has the reach just by small breeze. And if you have bigger windstorms and so forth, yeah, man, ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah, we're starting.
Even intercropping plays a good role, because when we have our nursery that we plant outside, we have set fields that we call a nursery. That is what we are breeding our seeds for next year. You choose one male tree or a special male tree, and you let him pollinate your females around. So even the second generation, you look for that same male tree, and you do your back crossing and so forth to try to stabilize the strain. But when you do it that way, you have to plant certain crops around it that will kind of block off certain levels of pollen and certain timing as well. So you make the grass get certain levels of height. So you have certain things that you try to do to eliminate it, but it's really hard based on how we do it. But we know how we're doing greenhouses and so forth. You have ways that we can definitely do it now. But traditionally, we'd go somewhere far, use a higher level of bush, so cut out like the middle part, and do your nursery in there. Just a smaller field, one male tree to breed maybe 20, 30 female trees, depending on how much you want. and you move forward from there for the next year. Yeah.
That's awesome. They're studding out their males.
Yeah, man.
So you really have everything figured out, from trying to contain your pollen to how to cure everything, man. You guys really do have it all figured out. And like you said, you don't go against nature, you grow with nature. I love everything I'm hearing coming out of you.
It's just done, you know. And also because
Yeah,
it's cheaper for your body. It's much better for your body. You know, it's better for your consumption as a race, you know. And
it
especially
sounds like the tradition.
if you're making medicines out of it now, remember you're going to take in concentrates out of whatever you're putting in there. So if you're putting garbage in, you're going to get concentrated garbage coming out. So if you put a concentrate of good things in there, when you make a concentrate, you're going to get your good things out of it, you know. So you need to have the foundation being pure, especially for medicine. You see, like maybe the recreational and so forth, it's kind of like a gray area, you know, but especially for medicine, you have to keep it pure. And the
No, even
sacrament
the recreational, Bob, because yo, at the cannabis cup, the guy that gave me my first dab, his thing is him want clean herb. My girl in Jamaica and I try to find farmers with the actual cleanest of herb, organic. And when we say organic, we mean organic because you see with the extraction, you see if you do a BHO and you run grown garbage, it going to taste like it, it going to smell like it going to burn like it, in all honesty.
All right, you guys. So we got about just over 10, 12 minutes left in chat, or left from the show. Not left in the chat. We got about 12 minutes left in the show. So Bob, if there's anything you want to just share, anything you like, you want to tell people or anything like that, just feel free, man.
Well, first of all, I just want to say definitely thanks for the movement that you, Tricky, and definitely panelists like yourself. You know, maybe regardless of where we are started, but we know where we're going. We're looking for a more holistic livity, how we want to live and how we want to, just be. So I just want to give thanks for the movement that, you have been putting a 420 resistance, as you've saying, keep the ganja alive. So we give thanks for that. And whatever you're doing, especially with this whole technology thing, it's almost amazing to me, like right now, the level that it's reached, that we can actually share and be comfortable sharing. And whether, I'm not saying it's your right or not, but you know what I mean? Like to that point where it's beyond your right. It's to now the point there we accept that it's all right, and we're actually helping each other to be better individuals and have a better role to earth as it is, to help it spin a bit better,
Yeah.
So we just want to say definitely thanks, everybody, PALMSIDE, Dirtman, Dan, everybody, TANASI. Not too familiar with everybody, but definitely, thanks for everybody and your whole community, what you have been doing and so forth. It's the same movement everywhere. Ganja is a way to bring people together. And we just, give thanks. Run the same way. That's why I reached out to him, because somebody actually put me onto this show and said, hey, check it out. They talk about things that you like to talk about. And I said, wait, but there's a Jamaican guy on it. And I said, well, he's kind of young and I can see maybe not too experienced, but the passion that he displays, that's what we need. So, we accept it as it is. And I'm saying from the time then and to where he is now, I know just by hanging around and being around you guys, the educational level and the energy is like you put him into overdrive, So, as Jamaica presents itself,
why I'm starting to grow. So, bless up for them.
As Jamaica presents itself to the world or represents itself to the world, we need more, individuals like this that's coming in with the innovations, coming in with the technology a certain way, but understanding that we want to keep the vital tradition alive. Because you see, the sacramental plant, why we say a ganja is our sacrament, it's like a spiritual food. So if you are planning to feed your spirit, think of the levels that you want to take it. You understand? You need a harmonious balance. So when you have that kind of energy coming in, it will be a great, building block within the foundation of the whole entire industry worldwide. Because we want to get to the point where you guys visit, come and go, and things like that. And you know, we give thanks.
Right on. We got a few people in chat asking if you have any social media that they can get, that they can see what you're doing, Instagram or YouTube or anything like that.
Well, I'm trying to get this thing together. I got a, what they call it thing? Instagram. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I have an Instagram thingy account. Yeah. Jim.
What's your name on Instagram? Where do we follow you?
It's JIM, like Jim Cooley, COOLIE, Bob, BOB. So it's Jim Cooley Bob. In Jamaica, we have a way to give a lot of terms for ourselves, you know. So I am from like an Indian ethnic background. So people would refer to me as Indian or Apache, Cooley Bob, Indian Bob, you know, whatever. Some of my friends, they just, oh, and I know they're referring to me, you know. So it's kind of like that, you know.
All right, I just found you. I'm going to show everybody. So, oh, man, I just messed it up. There we go. I'm going to show everybody your handle here. So there it is, you guys.
Oh, yeah, man, that's me. Yeah, respect.
And we've got the link in chat also.
So I think now you're going to force me to use it more.
You'll probably definitely gain a few subscribers right now or a few followers. There you guys go. Jim Coolidad, if everybody can see that. So everybody go follow him. Show him some love over there.
Got some good pictures on there.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of good pictures. The green screen's going to mess him up, but
he's already got 5 more followers since I put the link in chat.
Nice.
I was one of them.
Yeah. So there you go. He's got some nice pictures on here. So you guys get over there and show him.
You will see the growth of the lamb's bread. That's the only thing I'm going to commit myself to put.
Look, I keep telling Randy that's the one I want. I want that lamb's bread.
That's why I want to get a clone. Because Baba going to go and grow it. I'm going to try seed it and ensure that we can get seeds and make this breed stay alive. With like searching for this strain alone at cost people arm and leg kidney cost me a couple years. So we need to have this thing living back in Jamaica so we don't water it down with the American seeds.
Knowing that you have the real lamb's bread is very highly sought after.
That's good.
It's called Ganja Talk, and we're looking forward to like a platform like this. Randy is definitely going to be instrumental into getting our local awareness up because we want a Caribbean package. Because we realize, you see, across the Caribbean, we have grow pockets that are very good for certain things. So like hemp would go very good in a certain Caribbean island. Then we have certain hazes that would do excellent, like St. Vincent and so forth. So we're going to come forward with a whole ganjagram kind of vibes. And, you know, so we have some things in Jamaica that we're definitely looking forward to put in the industry. And the world is going to be happy with the presentations we have, you know.
You know, some of that, brother. Because in truth and in fact, if we set up a Jamaican 420 resistance like this, honestly, we can reach the farmers where we now know about the information and I get it. As I said, being here alone boosted the information that I was getting, boosted my overall passion for cannabis. These people gave me information where I have to seek from the elders or find somebody because, in all honesty, Bob, it's hard to find people in Jamaica try to talk about how to grow or anybody will really grow weed. I tell you how to grow weed.
Well, this is something to share. Now is not the time to hide and to, you know, to hide in the gully or hide in the hills and do your thing. Of course, we don't want to get in your face, but there are ways now that because of hiding, we're unable to do certain things properly. So now that when you're planting herb in comfort, it brings a peace of mind and the product and the quality itself is going to shine. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, when you can just do it and not have to be in fear, it's a game changer.
And all right.
That's why it's called herb, because it should be treated like a mint. It should be treated like a basil. It should be treated like anything else in the garden.
Yeah, one of my favorite things, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Mitch Hedberg, but he's a comedian. One of his favorite things to say was, I don't do drugs. I just set plants on fire, and the smoke happens to have some positive side effects.
Speaking of which, that's my dab time call right there, guys.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm with you.
But funny enough, although certain things happen, we down here now make use of it. You know, so we can grow 5 plants legally. How come I not say 5 plants in every backyard and I'm the only person? Will come like I'm bad broke or just have no sense of authority growing weed. Weed, as I say, is a herb and should be in every backyard because at the end of the day, not only old but young can use it.
Exactly. It's a plant. It shouldn't be regulated at all.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason it ever got regulated in America was to fuck over black people. I mean, that's honestly what...
In truth.
I mean, that's honestly what it was. It was, those damn fucking black people are smoking that devil's weed. Let's outlaw it. And that's what happened in America. Fucking
The same thing with opium and the Chinese before that.
Yeah. The jazz musicians and the weed, the Chinese and the opium.
Well,
now it's the alcohol companies that keep it illegal. The alcohol and tobacco companies that make sure it stays illegal, or they're trying to anyway.
I think it's the mindfuck that happened back then because there were 3 influential people, especially from the U.S. government, that helped push this thing to be legal on the United Nations front. The other day, they were having talks, and United Nations is now bashing countries like the U.S., Canada, Uruguay, and Jamaica for decriminalizing or full legalization. This is, as I said, this is just a mind thing that if we can break the overall mind prison of, oh, this thing is bad for you and it will make you mad. Nah, they said that to make you think that black people will go mad. It doesn't make you go mad. Doesn't make me go mad. I'd be happy.
Remember, herb itself, you know, the monetary value behind it. I looked at a recent study, and the study was showing that the medical facilities, over 40% still goes back somehow to the federal government, and next 30-something% goes back to the local and the state government. Only 4% goes back to the farmer, and about 8% might go to the dispensary. I can't remember if it was Washington or one of those places, but I'm just saying generally, looking at what you have seen America been going through the past couple of years, the depression and so forth. This is a huge market that people are willing to spend $10 a gram for. So if somehow they can collect $4 out of every $10 gram, out of even 50% of the market, they can bail themselves somehow slowly but surely out. You know what I mean? So there are many reasons for it as well. So financially always is a huge thing, even from when it been banned originally. If you know that you can go in your backyard and you pick some leaf and you make some tea out of this, Tylenol won't have a business. My doll will be out of business. You have a lot of these pharmaceutical companies that would have never been in existence because ganja would have been in pretty much everybody's backyard, and it is the real multi-symptom. It solves all disease. It takes care of all discomfort. You know, it's the king of the medicine, as the Chinese and the Indians would say. You know, so there are other motivations for this all along. So right now, to see it come up, one, people pressure is there because once the people lead, then the leaders have to follow. You understand? So over time, they're not going to take it anymore. California had the majority of people that wanted that movement already pushing it. So there is no turning back now. They just want to figure out how are they going to collect along the way before they let us in. You know, you understand? It's like a system.
True.
And the government here is really good. The government in America is really good at segregating people from each other. Like the government here is really, really good at keeping people apart. And that stops us from coming together for causes like this. But we're finally getting there with cannabis. But with a lot of shit, the government is really good with playing the media and keeping everybody hating each other here. Like the government plays that shit up because it helps them keep control of us. If we can't unite as one people, the government can just run all over us. But if we can all just be one unit, the government can't fucking touch us. So the government uses the media to keep us spread apart, and they're really, really good at it.
Everybody say buy the tricky now. The people in the black suits are gonna come make him disappear.
Yep, Men in Black are gonna show up in my ass.
I said Bob put it
Nice
right.
buddy.
Yo, Bob put it right when he said we as a community need to come together, because me growing right now means that Bob going to have a acre can grow upon, because one of the things beating most of the people within the cannabis industry, we don't have a downstream to sell our herb. You can get the license, yes, but to get the full perks and be able to grow on the facility, you need somebody buying your license. You need an investor, or you need an American downstream or somewhere to get it there. So if I'm getting a downstream, what am I gonna do? Become an umbrella person. Go around and get farmers like Bob. Go around and get farmers like my brethren. And have all of us growing that over time we have practiced the principles. We have saved back the Jamaican herb, and we have developed the industry like how it's supposed to develop. Me alone can't do this. Bob alone can't do this. So what is happening now is the best thing. Jamaica and the US uniting, people from different areas in Jamaica growing together, and that is a true revolution of cannabis.
Yeah. Budman has a good point too. America's really good. They're really good at the people that run America are really good at using the media to distract us from what's really going on in the world too. Like all you see on the news here is Kim Kardashian this or Beyonce that or Lil Uzi flirt this, or it's just there's no real issues on TV anymore. It's just all bullshit. Everything on TV in America is complete bullshit.
Big Uzi flirt.
Big Uzi flirt. I'm getting my that shit, boy. I'm gonna add my own bullshit up in that mix. But yeah, they're really good here, just keeping us distracted from real issues that are going on by showing us garbage, and people love it. It's like that one girl that how about meet me outside? How about that? That girl is literally a multi-millionaire now. She's one of the dumbest fucking people on the planet, and she is a multi-millionaire now.
She got a record contract.
Yeah, she's got a record contract. It's ridiculous.
So wait. Let me get this straight. The lower your IQ is, the more you get paid.
Pretty much. That's pretty much how America's working.
Rick, right now, please.
No. It's the opposite here in Jamaica. The higher your IQ, and again, I see anything. The lower your IQ, the more you get paid. Them just work off the.
Yeah, see what I mean? Go get a brick right now. Let's go get Dirtman paid.
I'm moving to Jamaica.
Come on, watch it.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing these days, especially after seeing this.
Oh yeah, and Zuni Slammer says, yeah, you can't trust none of those letters either. None of these letter agencies in America are out for it to benefit us in any way whatsoever.
No, the alphabet boys work against you.
From ever since, it's a tradition that has kept on, divide and conquer. From the Roman times, from every time historically, it's a method that have been used. And you have people like Marcus Garvey and so forth that would say organize, centralize, come as one. That has been a directive that has been given to our people and anybody within the community. It's the same method. It's like the antidote to divide and conquer. So the method they have used of divide and conquer, the antidote. Organize, centralize, come as one. So what we're doing now, these are the steps that we're doing. That's why I always have to give thanks to the high, give thanks to people like you, you know. As I say, give thanks to Rastafari, same way with Bobo Shanti, you know, by a lot of people that have been keeping the strains and the tradition together, people like Sata, myself, Kush, you know. A lot of people that are doing it out there, Dirtman, and even yourself individually. If you don't do this and see the need to do it, aside from the monetary value, that pleasure that you get of sharing good medicine with somebody or seeing somebody respond so well, not only to the medicine, but your treatment and your aura and a whole, it's magnificent, you know? And when all of us are doing this together, then you will see the presence of the Almighty, because all of us are moving together. So that is when the Almighty will unfold. You know?
He speaks the
That's got a
truth.
comment from
Absolutely.
Justin Goodearth in chat. He says, we won't be able to top this show. He challenges us. So he's saying that he thinks this is our best show so far.
Definitely one of the best guests. That's for darn sure.
You know what?
Bless up, my brother. Thank you.
It's going to get even better because I was just talking to somebody, Jam Genetics, a brother that now is growing indoors, coming onto the legal market. He said, he's even in chat right now. He said he'll be down for doing a show. So we're going to have more and more Jamaicans. We're going to be topping the show each week. It's going to be better each week. So one day they have work.
The Jamaicans are taking over.
Real dog looks like, Dirt Man. See that? That's what a real dog looks like. Just so you know, so you have some kind of a frame of reference to what a real dog looks like. This is
Hey,
Is that a dog or his girlfriend?
I got a real dog that I could send to Dirt Man if he needs.
Okay, that's a security system right there. K9 unit.
Oh yeah, that's the house protection unit right there, boy. Call him the HPU.
yo, want to hear something funny about it, Bob?
Does Bob know you have a pig? Does Bob know you got a pig running around in your house, Tricky?
I don't think he does. Yeah, I have a pet pig running around my house, Bob.
Pet pig.
Yeah, I have that dog, another dog, and a 200-pound pig.
And they all live in the house.
Yeah, they all live in the house.
Yeah, I understand the fascination of pets in the house and so forth. I've been in America for a while, so I kind of see that, you know, people have kind of weird shit for pets. So I've accepted it. It's all good.
Yeah, man.
It's not like you're planning to put, like set him up for Christmas or anything like that, right?
Do what?
Are you planning to like set him up for Christmas or anything like that?
No, we've had
like a pet.
She's a pet. We've had her for 7 years.
So she doesn't have like an expiry date on her or anything like that.
No.
Like a pet, right?
Sometimes she tries to give herself an expiration date, but no.
She's got a Best Buy date stamped on the side.
She tries to make me kill her sometimes.
For some good jerk pork. Maybe Randy can give you a jerk pork recipe, you know?
Go ahead and make it. That's all fat meat.
I don't have, you can't have it, you know. But, so doesn't it eat up the weed? It doesn't try to eat the herbs. Or you don't plant too much outside?
No, anything I plant outside has to be behind a fence or she will definitely eat it. She will even eat my ganja. She ate 4 ounces one day while we were at a concert. I had it like out on a tray, drying out to cure it. And she broke into my office, knocked the tray off the table, and ate 4 ounces. One day she ate half a tube of liquid nail.
You come home, she's sprawled out on the couch with a bag of Cheetos and some fucking Gatorade, just chowing down.
One day she snuck into the food closet and ate 20 pounds of pig food in one night. We get her pig food in a bag. It's like little pellets. She ate 20 pounds while we were sleeping one night.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, she's tried to have herself killed a few times.
She tried to blow herself up.
I don't know if this is good or not, but I have a friend that raises pigs. I have some pit bulls, right? I have some big dog. I believe I have like monster mongrels, you know?
Nice.
So,
I'm a pit bull lover myself. I've got one.
Yeah, our other dog is a pit bull. Obviously not the one I was just showing, but our other one.
I got 8 pit bulls.
Pig, you know? So what he didn't know is that he was wondering how come the new setup.
Whoa. Just lost Bob.
Just lost Bob.
Chat wants to know how stoned your pig was.
The pig was she didn't do anything but sleep for a couple days after she ate that 4 ounces. The one I was worried about was the day that she ate the half a tube of liquid nail. I thought for sure that shit was gonna kill her. But she was fine.
It didn't even phase her.
No. Didn't phase her at all. Half a tube of liquid nail. Some of the most toxic shit you could probably ever eat.
Oh, speaking of
I'm
which,
surprised that didn't seal her right up and she couldn't go to the bathroom after
That's
that.
what dude. As soon as it happened, I looked at my old lady. I was like, she's dead. I was like, that shit's gonna turn into a chemical brick in her gut, and she's done for.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
No.
Did you check for her stool afterwards? Like, I'm kind of curious. Did like anything come out?
I'm not checking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, Bob is a great guest. I just got a confirmation from Jam Genetics. So anytime we're ready, this guy right here, Jam Genetics. Hope you guys can see. Yeah, Jamaican grown stuff. We can have the Jamaicans coming out of the closet and thing.
The Jamaican invasion.
Yeah, give Tricky. You know what? I'm gonna give Tricky at least 2-3 weeks worth of resting time, where I look for the guests myself, and all he needs to do is set up the show. How does that sound, Tricky?
Yeah, everybody loves Bob tonight. We definitely want to get him back on the show sometime.
Okay.
Let's see, what was that shit I just saw?
If I can show this.
Oh, 1997 Wolverine. That is actually incorrect. Pigs will not eat anything. I know it sounds like it from what I just said, but there's actually things she won't eat. She will not eat asparagus. Won't eat asparagus.
And won't
touch it.
Welcome back, Bob.
My pit bull will pick peas out of gravy. Like if you gave her chicken and biscuit with peas in it, she will literally lick a plate clean and leave every pea on it.
Damn. All right, you guys. Well, we're actually like 10 minutes past showtime. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get in the garden and do some work and get some dinner. So I'm going to get to that. Bob, I love you coming on tonight, man. We definitely want to have you on some other time.
Yeah, man. Respect, and love and respect. Rastafari blessings every time.
Bless up, my brother. One love.
Randy,
thanks for coming on the show, for sure.
Thank you for putting the show together tonight.
Much love, brother.
Much love, Randy. You killed it tonight, my man.
Yeah, man. Respect to you boys.
Man, for sure.
So now it's one of your new guys' turn to do what Randy did tonight and pull in, make a nice show for next week.
Them some big shoes to fill right there.
Yeah, right.
Blackheart and Hippie, y'all got to battle that one out.
I'll find somebody good. Don't you worry. I got some tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah, put the new guys through the ringer over here.
You got sleeves?
By the way, how many people tuned in?
We can get it done. We can get it done.
Our peak concurrent viewers tonight, I think, was like 165. Man. We got 120, 115 still watching right now. 122 thumbs up. So, pretty good show.
Yeah, Randy, Bob, you guys were great. This was an excellent show. Thank you all for coming out, and hopefully we'll see more content like this. It's great.
Oh, man.
I can't wait to see what you guys got coming from over there in Jamaica.
And this show in particular, I think, is going to get a lot of post-show views too. Like the show normally gets about half of its views during the show, and then half of its views in the few days after the show. And I think this one's probably going to do a little better on the after the show one.
Yeah, but the whole Jamaican thing. Bob, most definitely I feel linked.
Not working out, you know.
That was looking pretty.
It was to see the crystals, but it's not working out.
It definitely got bright green when you did that.
Yeah, man. I'm trying. I figure I'll get more technological as we go along. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nah,
that's working good right there.
Right there, yeah. A little bit farther away like that was looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, I said, I have some time to spare, so I'll definitely come link you and help you with the technology and see if we can set up a YouTube panel and thing. Coming out, you're supposed to be at the videos and all of that stuff for showcase for Jamaica all about now.
So that's working well. We can see that perfect now, though.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
It smells like marshmallow.
Oh no, oh man.
I'll tell you, the Jamaican I seen down there didn't look like that.
Call it peeps.
No, I'm sure there's a difference between what they give tourists and what they keep for themselves.
We will not speak of which.
Randy's keeping
Yeah.
The two of us get the bam bam boo boo.
Yo, in all honesty, that is true at that time. Depending on who, they will fuck you over.
I'm sure
Like,
most tourist places do.
I remember
But
when I
what do
went
you
down
think
there
of Jamaica?
in 2010, I paid probably about $20 for one of those branches.
Which was probably 20 times what it would cost them.
No, you see, if Dirtman Dan gave me $20 and say, "Around, they go get some herb," I'm coming back with a quarter pound.
A quarter pound.
Yeah, like when I went down there in 2010, I paid $20 for one of those.
You got a quarter ounce. Randy would have got you a quarter pound.
Yep.
Like an average, like a real, like the good, best quality indoor. You might spend maybe $200 for the best quality top. They're really in aligned with like the medicinal, like the BCs, this BC and the Denver
Listen, would that
standards.
be 200 a pound or ounce, Bob?
On the local market, you know, it will vary. You can get a nice ounce for $20. You can, you know what I mean? You can get a real nice ounce for $50. You can get a super nice ounce for $100. You know.
Time out. Did you just say you could get a pound? You could get a pound of indoor weed for $200?
I thought he said an ounce.
You know.
Oh, he said an ounce for 200. Oh, damn, that's damn. No, prices over there. That's what I'm talking about.
But herb is a thing that we share. So if you go certain places, you'll find that herb you'll get, especially among the Rastafari community, you will just get herb. You understand? Because it's not something you're gonna bring back with you. You're gonna put it in your brain, put it into your body, and take it home with you. So the experience is what more you'd probably want to compensate for, you know. So it's not really the herb directly in the Rastafari side of it. You understand? When you come up to our side of it, we have some organization like Herb for the Poor, Weed for the Poor. You know, you have certain Rastafari house, you know, you don't have to worry about this. Once you want to partake, if you should so decide, you can feel comfortable, you know, and it will be a compensation. It's not something that you purchase. You understand? It's an year, you know.
Well, that's not a bad society to live in. That's a good way to have things, you know. Those in need get what they need, you know. Everybody depends on everybody.
Well, see, that's what happens when everybody's smoking ganja, is everybody's willing to help one another.
That's the truth.
Especially now that the medicinal industry is taking off, you find that people that are making ointments, they're making creams. If you really come and you have a pain, we're not going to charge you for it or anything. You go ahead and try it. If you want, you know, yeah, man, you want it to get better. Your wealth is in your health. So the more healthy you are, the better it is for all of us, you know. Yeah, just give life, man. I and I, man. There's no you involved. You understand? There's no you involved. It's I and I, you know.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's do one last talk real quick and get up out of here.
Yeah, and give thanks again.
I'm going to do one last rip of this Citrix, and then I'm going to get in the garden, get some work done. But Bob, once again, man, much love. Thank you for taking the time out of your night to come chill with us. Yeah, much appreciated.
It was a pleasure. Give thanks.
Definitely glad to have you, man. It was great to hear from you.
Blessed up, and everybody take care of yourself, right?
So. Yeah, man.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and toking up. Don't be shy. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for 420 Resistance Live Show number 43. Panel, good night. Thank you, guys.
Peace.
Later, all.
Dab time.
Dab time. All right, guys. Everybody have a great night. As the Jamaicans would say, have a blessed night.
Blessed up.
Blessed up.
And we will see you guys next week. Peace out, everybody. Night.